Alrighty. And it looks like that recording is good to go. So thank you all for your patience on that. Let's go ahead and get started. So your experience here at SNHU is important to us. It is our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of this presentation's design or delivery that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the appropriate accessibility centers. If you're an online student, you can email oac@snhu.edu or give us a call at 866-305-9430. If you're a campus student, you can email cac@snhu.edu or call 603-644-3118. If you're a staff or faculty member, feel free to email hr@snhu.edu. So once again, first and foremost, we want to welcome you all here this evening. My name is Alyssa Laskowski, and I work on the SNHU Career Services team. And my role is to partner with academic faculty and staff to host career webinars like this one this evening. And so I'd like to take a moment to allow my co-host, Tyra, to go ahead and say hello and introduce herself.
Hi, good afternoon or good evening to everyone. We're so excited that you can join us. My name is Tyra Davey. I'm the Associate Dean of our science programs for global campus learners. And so I partner with career services and folks like Alyssa to be able to bring this content to you all. So we're really excited to be able to engage all together, or if you're watching the recording, be able to share lots of great resources, but some actionable steps that you can take to get engaged with some of the career opportunities that we offer here at SNHU. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Tara. So where are we headed today? So a quick look at our agenda. You'll see that we'll start with some great academic updates, and then we'll introduce you to the SNHU Career Services team and our SNHU site called Career 360. And next we'll focus on 5 steps for students to start exploring career paths. And then we will wrap it up with some key takeaways and open Q&A from all of you. So again, those of us who are just joining us now, as a reminder, all attendees, your microphones have been muted and your cameras have been turned off. And this webinar will be recorded. So those in the audience, you're not required to take any notes, but you're welcome to do so if you prefer. And all attendees will receive a follow-up email with all the links to the resources we discussed today, as well as a link to this recording. So make sure that you check your SNHU email address or the email that you registered for this event, because that is going to be the email address that we send all of this great information to you in the next coming days. And again, we will have time for Q&A at the end of the session this evening. So if you could please wait to add your questions into the chat box until then, we will then address them aloud for you. And so for now, I will turn it over to Tyra for a quick check-in.
Great. Thanks so much, Alyssa, for getting us set up. So we're going to do a few of these check-ins throughout the webinar. We really wanted this to be interactive, be able to share with other students that are going through the same sorts of things, and really just get a gauge on kind of who is in our audience and what brought you to the field. And so in our first kind of check-in question, we're curious. We had a few folks introduce themselves. Thank you so much in the chat. But what drew you to the field of whether you're in environmental science or geoscience? Could be a lifelong passion, where you grew up, childhood story, maybe you know a scientist that inspired you. So feel free to pop that in the chat, and we'll just kind of do a few of these check-ins here to engage with you throughout the presentation. For myself personally, my background is in meteorology, so I'm more on the geoscience side of things, and I really enjoy just looking out the window and needed to know exactly why the weather occurred that we were seeing outside our windows. Let's see where you live. Excellent. Yep. I also really enjoy spending a lot of time outdoors, and that lends itself really well to the field of science. Infectious disease data for our population. Interesting. Yeah, we have a lot of folks come into these fields with like nursing and healthcare backgrounds. That is not something unique that I've heard. There's quite a few folks. Watching Twister as a kid, I can definitely empathize and relate to that. Bill Nye, grandfather owned a mine near Yosemite. Oh, that's great. Human impact, more sustainable, excellent. Protecting the earth, love of nature, animals, research, biomedical background. Yep. Really good at math and science. Bio teacher. Yep, teachers can make all the difference in terms of inspiring our career paths. Conservation and restoration. Excellent. Plate tectonics and volcanoes. Yes. Wonderful. Keep on sharing in the chat. I am going to just keep on reading through everyone's responses, and hopefully we can lend some of our advice and ideas throughout the presentation to some of the things that you've all mentioned. Thank you so much for sharing. So as Alyssa mentioned, we wanted to start off with a few academic updates, really kind of about your program. In part 2 of this series, so this is a 3-part webinar series, we're going to be hosting them every 2 weeks, and we'll share some registration information at the very end. But in part 2, we're going to dive a little bit more into your program and courses that you can take, what's available to you to be able to customize your degree. And so that's something that's really important to me. For both of your programs in geoscience and environmental science, there's a lot of free elective space. And so you can really customize based on what your interests are. I heard a lot of different things in terms of natural resource preservation, being interested in the environment, outdoors, natural hazards like volcanoes, things like that. There are courses that you can use in your program and complete and get some of that coursework experience during your academic program to really customize exactly what you're looking to do in the field. As we're going to talk about today, environmental science and geosciences are huge fields. There's so much opportunity, but that also means that there's a lot of options and a lot of things that you can do. So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to kind of hone in on that, how to narrow in on what your focus should be, and ways that you can get experience both academically, but also outside of academics to really shape your career path and get you to where you want to go. And then we also wanted to share some recent course improvements. As you know, the virtual desktop environment, if you worked with the VDI, can be a little bit glitchy or slow and experience technical issues. That's technology in a nutshell, right? So we're excited to be able to share that there's been a lot of testing that's been done through the SNHU platform and the academic technology team to improve the speed. So the responsiveness of this space should be much more quick. And we're updating the version of ArcGIS Pro to the most recent version that Esri offers. So that'll impact environmental science students in a few of your courses, but more so the geoscience program. And speaking of the geosciences program, right now we've been working on updating and improving 11 courses in your program. And so we regularly go through student feedback and faculty feedback, the performance of how you're doing in your assignments in those courses, and we're listening to you. So if you've got feedback, if you've experienced things that have worked really well in a course, things that haven't gone so well or are unclear, make sure that you're completing those end of term surveys in each course, and that usually comes out around week 6. I read your feedback. It's all anonymous, so no pressure to share everything candidly. But all of that is considered as we're working to improve and update the courses within your program to make them as workforce relevant and as great of an experience for you all as possible. And then something that we really wanted to highlight was not only kind of what you have in your elective space, but what you could be doing to gain hands-on experience while earning academic credit. So Sci 360 is titled Experiential Learning. And what that means is really that you are taking the learning in your own hands. It still follows an 8-week course structure, but it's very much more open-ended. And we offer these courses and these topic areas based on student interests. So the things that you're all writing in the chat of the areas that you're really interested in for career pathways or what you're looking for to get experience, we're able to customize the schedule based on interest and workforce need. As the workforce changes, introduction of AI, we want to be able to offer those types of experiences so you all can learn a little bit more about what that looks like in your field from experts and design your own projects where you're coming out with deliverables that would be something that you could hand off and show during an interview. So the nice part about these classes is that you can take Sci 360 up to 2 times. So you can earn up to 6 academic credits. And while you're doing so, that you're getting this hands-on experience and reflecting on kind of what workforce skills you're coming away with. So currently we offer Sci 360 in a few different kind of flavors as we refer to them. We have topics in animal behavior, applied sustainability and consulting. I saw a few notes in the chat there, folks that are interested in that. Citizen science are a few examples of the courses that we offer right now. So if you're interested, you want to learn more, we'll share a link to that video in the chat. And talk with your academic advisor. They have the schedule and they can help you get registered for things that'll be meaningful in your academic pathway. All right, another quick check-in. What SNHU resources have been the most helpful to you? These could be people, these could be links, videos, any sorts of departments like academic support, tutoring, maybe career services. What's been the most meaningful to you so far while you've been here at SNHU? Advisor, Shapiro Library, tutoring. There is a limit on how many students can join. Yes, 15 students in each section of experiential learning, but we usually don't run into any issues. So feel free to talk to your advisor and we can always extend the size of that course if needed. The Penny chatbot, yes. Shapiro Library resource, excellent. Teachers, it's my first time using a resource, so I'd say this, excellent. Yeah, we're so excited that you're all able to jump in, even if you're not here for the full hour. This is fantastic. You're taking time to develop yourself professionally by engaging with us today. And it's just going to help you grow in your learning and your experience here. Career 360, that is probably music to Alyssa's ears. We're going to learn a little bit more about all of the things that career offers in the next few slides here. Advisors, excellent. Yes, your advisor is, yes, invaluable resource while you're here. They can really get you to where you're going, answer any questions that you have, build that relationship with them, reach out when you're, feeling uncertain or you have questions, need motivation to keep going. They're there. Excellent. All right, I will pass it back to you, Alyssa. Thank you so much. You can tell us all about the excellent resources that Career Services offers.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyra. And thanks everyone for continuing that engagement in the chat. So keep it going. We love to see all of that connection happening and you sharing your thoughts. So love seeing that. And yes, couldn't help but smile when I saw the Career 360 note. So that's amazing. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But if you haven't yet heard of SNHU Career Services or team or taken advantage of our team, I just wanted to give you kind of a brief introduction. So SNHU offers free career advising services for all SNHU students and alumni for life. So students and alumni can reach out to our team via email or give us a call directly anytime during your academic program or after you graduate. And so our dedicated team of career advisors are located nationwide. We have over 70 plus, I think we're closer to about 100 now, professional career advisors on our team. And so our SNHU career advisors can provide individualized virtual support to students and alumni geared towards career goal setting. They can assist you with professional resume, cover letter, and even portfolio assistance, interview preparation, job and internship search strategies and support, networking help, and much, much more. And so our team, we also host career events, which students and alumni can attend throughout the academic year with our employer partners. So don't wait to reach out. We are here to support you and your career journey, no matter where you are starting from. And so in June of this year, 2024, not even this year, it's 2025 now, June of last year, 2024, we launched Career 360. So I'm going to take a moment to play this quick introduction video for all of you. If you can't hear it, please let me know in the chat box.
Breaking news! We've launched our new virtual career services site for SNHU online students and alumni called Career 360. Career 360 is your new central resource hub for all SNHU career services offerings. With access to customized job and internship postings, a specialized career event schedule, and a comprehensive collection of industry-focused resources provided by our SNHU career services professionals, Career 360 offers a plethora of information to support you throughout every stage of your professional journey.
SNHU students and alumni can view and apply to tailored job and internship recommendations that align with your career goals. You can easily find relevant career resources based on your major and specific industries. You can view all upcoming career events and learn how to create an eye-catching resume. You can watch insightful career videos and access a wealth of interview tips to help you ace your next interview. Through Career 360, you can browse focused career communities in the social sciences, business, STEM, liberal arts, education, and healthcare industries. In each community, you can explore specific career resources and opportunities related to your major and career area of interest.
Interested in getting timely career services email updates? We got you covered. Click the Sign Up for Career content on the homepage and set your email alert preferences. We are confident that Career 360 will provide you with the necessary tools and resources to take your career to new heights. Whether you are a seasoned professional or just starting out, our platform is designed to cater to your unique needs. If you are a current online student or an alum, Career 360 empowers you to explore and navigate your own career development journey and achieve success. Students can access Career 360 directly through the Career Services website on MySNHU. Bookmark our website at career360.snhu.edu.
All right, so I hope that was informative and helpful. I'm going to go ahead and add the link directly here into the chat, but give me 1 second to do that so that you guys can kind of follow along in this next clip here. This is specifically to kind of go over our dedicated career community pages. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this link in the chat before I play the video here. But on the screen, this is just a short and quick demo video on how you can use and explore Career 360. So you can start by clicking on the Explore Industries menu tab and you can click STEM. So once you go to this community, you can browse all the available resources on our much larger STEM career community page. But a really helpful feature is the Choose Your Major drop-down menu located at the top. So this will give you the option to narrow your career search by choosing or clicking your specific major. So this career community page has specific career information related to the field of environmental sciences and geoscience. You can simply browse away and explore all this page has to offer, which is a ton. You can even click on the available drop-down menu options to research entry-level, mid-level, and senior-level career resources, depending on where you are in your unique career journey. You'll notice there are also some really cool features that are located at the top of the page as well. So by clicking on some of these menu options you'll see at the top in blue, you can browse environmental science, geoscience career resources, available LinkedIn learning courses, our Vault guides, our featured environmental science and geoscience related jobs and internships. You can browse all of our available professional associations and organizations. And there's also an opportunity for you to browse to gain experience through some of our Forage job simulations. And you can also watch and take a look at our relevant career videos. So for example, once this video recording is ready, we will upload it right here to this page under the Career Videos tab so that you can watch it back at any time. Additionally, all of the resources that we explore and talk about today are located on this career community page as well. So Career 360 truly is your one-stop shop for starting to explore all of your career options in environmental science and geoscience. And if you can believe it, Career 360 has even more to offer. So on our homepage, you can also select the Build Career Skills menu. So through this menu, you can get help with your resume and your cover letter. You can check out how to earn relevant certifications. You can view networking tips. You can also learn how to negotiate any job or maybe internship offers. You can find out how to prep for any sort of interview. You can even look to complete a self-assessment to identify what career path is the best fit for you. You can explore graduate school options and resources. You can also view all of our SNHU internship resources and tips for navigating the internship search process. And lastly, you can browse all of our job searching advice and resources. And of course, if you do need more one-on-one help, you can find out how to connect directly with our career advisors in the About Us section. So we encourage you to bookmark or save our site at any point in time. And again, for those currently enrolled students, the link to the Career 360 page is included as a helpful link in all of your Brightspace courses and support options. And last but not least, to help you navigate and explore all there is to know about Career 360, we've actually completed and compiled a playlist on our SNHU Career YouTube channel that you can, again, watch back and view anytime. I'll be sure to add that link to our YouTube channel here in a moment. But this is, again, a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of this amazing one-stop shop. So please feel free to check it out. Continue to explore Career 360 and all of our amazing options and all the amazing menus. And again, if you have any questions about Career 360, or you just need a hand, our dedicated team of career advisors are always available to help you and assist you. And of course, I couldn't go on about talking about career services without talking about our amazing platform, Handshake. Handshake is our career job board at SNHU. So Handshake connects SNHU students and alumni with thousands of full-time, part-time, and internship opportunities with local, regional, and national and even global organizations. So these employers have designated their interest in you and want to connect with you through job posting and recruiting related events that are hosted and broadcasted on Handshake. And so you can log into Handshake directly or find out more about how to navigate Handshake, again, through our amazing Career 360 site. So let's watch this quick introduction video where you can find out a little bit more about Handshake.
Handshake is the premier career platform amongst colleges and universities to serve students and alumni career building needs. Students can network, build their profile, find jobs, internships, and attend events using the Handshake platform. SNHU is connected with more than 20,000 employers on Handshake, and they post over 12,000 jobs and internships each month. You already have a Handshake profile as an SNHU student or alumni. Go to snhu.joinhandshake.com. Your SNHU credentials should log you in, but if not, then please proceed with the registration process. Once you're on the page, click the small circle in the top right corner and select My Profile. Keep watching the next video, and that will help guide you in building your Handshake profile. Connect with SNHU Career Services team for career guidance. Email cocecareer@snhu.edu or call 888-672-1458.
Awesome. And I just put some helpful links in the chat as well, so you can find out a little bit more about Handshake and navigating some of our how-to videos, as well as a direct link to go ahead and log into Handshake and start browsing away at those job and internship opportunities. And so for now, I'm going to turn it back to Tyra for a quick check-in.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alyssa. I will say, if you take nothing else away from today, know that SNHU is invested in you and your success. All of those resources are there to provide you whatever you need when you need it. It's a lifelong service. Once you start with SNHU, you've got access to all of this, as you're an alumni, as you're working through your program, if you just started. And so it's really tailored there for you to engage in what you need when you need it. And so we want to do a quick check-in. Where would you say you are in your current career journey? And this might just be the very beginning. Maybe you're getting started and you're coming back to school and looking to change careers. Maybe this is the first time that you've taken courses in a really long time and you feel like, this is quite new to me. Or maybe you've got some experience and you work, maybe part of the way into the field or looking to get more experience. Tell us where you're at. And there's no wrong answer. We really designed this series so that it meets everyone's needs no matter where you are. Got a lot of career switchers. Okay, yeah. Very beginning, working in a hospital. Changing careers, just getting started. First year as a student. Welcome, brand new. I love it. Well, whether you are at the very beginning or at the very end, you're already doing something today to excel yourself forward. So kudos to you all, regardless of where you are. You're really taking the time to engage in professional development right now. So we're super excited that you're here. And so stay tuned. We're going to jump in, and we're going to ask you to kind of, take this as kind of yourself as identifying where you are, and pay attention to where that step is and what resources and what stage of things that you might be engaging with in the next few weeks. As we work into parts 2 and 3 of the webinar series, we're going to get a little bit more hands-on. So take today as an overview for you to be able to just reflect and see where you're at, see what resources here today might be the most meaningful to you at the point that you're in right now. And then we'll do some hands-on workshopping in part 2, and even hear from recruiters in part 3. So we'll go ahead and thank you so much for engaging the check-in. We're going to go ahead and outline kind of 5 simple steps for navigating your career journey that you can start to take, and Alyssa's going to help us walk through each one of those in a bit more detail.
Perfect. Thank you, Tyra. And thank you again, everyone, continuing to share in the chat. We love seeing where everybody is at. Like Tyra said, definitely no wrong answers. You guys are taking a huge step in just being here this evening with us. So kudos to all of you. So as Tyra alluded to, we're going to review some 5 steps that could help you prepare for your future career in environmental science or geoscience fields. So one of the first steps is knowing what's trending in the field and kind of what the future looks like. Step 2 is more about getting to know you, what it is that you want to do and what skills you have. Step 3 is thinking about and researching career paths out there that interest you. Step 4, we'll get into talking a little bit more about the importance of networking and getting connected with others. And then step 5, a little bit more about preparing application materials like your resume, your cover letter, or even your e-portfolio. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. So if you're interested in a career related to the environment, it's important to know the fundamental information about what's trending in the field. So environmental science professions, including specialists and scientists, work in laboratories or in offices or out in the world, right, to protect our earth and our environment. So depending on the job role, you might again be working in the field, gathering data and monitoring environmental conditions, or you might work more in an office setting, doing some of that critical data analysis. So environmental related studies is now considered actually one of the top careers of the future. So both the government and private sector need environmental consultants and specialists that can help them upgrade their green practices. So environmental science occupations enable you to make a visible difference, improving the quality of all lives here on Earth. In the age of sustainability, businesses are looking for environmental leaders who can help them achieve net zero emission targets and much more. And apart from knowledge about biology and physics and chemistry, you must develop critical thinking, problem solving, and strong communication skills to set yourself apart amidst the competition. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects job growth in many occupations related to helping the environment or conserving natural resources. So employment of environmental scientists and specialists is projected to grow roughly about 7% from 2023 to 2033, faster than the average for all other occupations. And so there's roughly to be anticipated about 7,300 openings for environmental scientists and specialists that are projected each year on average over the next decade. So in continuing to think and know about what's trending in the field, you have to think about some of the technological advancements that are happening. So technological advancements in data analysis or remote sensing and material science hold the potential to radically transform our approach to environmental sustainability. These technologies significantly enhance our ability to monitor ecosystem health, predict environmental changes, and innovate with new materials and processes that are less harmful to the environment. So professionals in environmental science must be equipped, knowledgeable, and capable of navigating these robust technologies. As many are aware, there are controversies associated with artificial intelligence or AI, and they can be found trending everywhere in literally almost every industry, including environmental science and geosciences, due to its potential environmental impacts. So, large organizations in the environmental science sector are employing thousands of people, and they're trying to adopt AI at a pace. So, AI offers transformative opportunities for the environment, including climate change, mitigation, nature conservation and restoration, inform disaster responses, improve energy efficiency, enhance our data analysis, help with efficient research assistance, and even pollution reduction. However, it is essential to consider both the potential benefits and the potential drawbacks of AI. This means a significant number of workers in environmental science and geoscience related roles are more likely to need new skills to better understand and use AI to enhance the work that they do. There's also a scientific consensus that climate change is real, and many professions in the field say the debate is essentially over. Multiple studies have found that over 90% of climate scientists agree the planet is warming and humans are the cause. Addressing climate change fundamentally relies on enacting effective policies at the government level, coupled with significant investment in developing and implementing solutions like renewable energy technology, sustainable infrastructure, and carbon capture methods. And so now the question is, how has the landscape of careers in this field changed? As we know, Earth's environment is constantly changing, especially in recent years with the advent of industry deforestation and increased pollution. So, the need for environmental scientists and geoscientists is expected to increase due to growing public concern about environmental hazards like climate change, population growth, resource depletion, and that's leading to a need for experts to analyze environmental problems and develop solutions to protect public health and the environment. So, in conclusion, the coming years hold immense potential for making substantial environmental advancements. And at the core of this movement are the environmental professionals like all of you dedicated to safeguarding our planet. So, with that, let's go ahead and move on to step two. Another crucial step in mapping out your career journey is understanding what it is that you want to do in the field. So, to discover your career interests within environmental science or geoscience, reflect on your passions related to the environment or specific ecosystems or environmental issues that concern you most. Then explore different career paths within that field, like research, conservation, policy, education, or even consulting. By researching job descriptions, volunteering, shadowing other professionals, or even taking introductory courses to gain some hands on experience, this will help you identify which area aligns best with your skills and your interests. So, one place that you can think about starting is taking a career self assessment. A career assessment is a test that features various questions related to your interests and your personality. The answers can help you discover more about your professional career goals and identify careers that align with those goals. So, taking time to do some of that internal reflection about your ideal career is super important. And what's best, SNHU offers a free career assessment tool called A Way To that students and alumni can use at any time. And once you know your career interests, you can start researching the types of job responsibilities that closely relate or align best. So take a look at some of these common job responsibilities for someone looking into careers in environmental science or geoscience related occupations. If any of these responsibilities sit high on your priority list, you may want to refine your career search around them. For example, you could start to look for jobs that specialize in collecting air quality data or measuring gravitational forces and see what that job title or that career path entails and what skills or experiences may be required to get that role. Continuing within step two, identifying and acknowledging your skill set is essential for personal and professional success. It provides a foundation for self awareness, career planning, goal setting, effective communication, personal branding, continuous learning, and confidence building, and even adaptability. To discover your career skills in environmental science, you can reflect on your strengths in scientific analysis or data collection, even critical thinking or communication, field research, problem solving, and overall environmental awareness. Then identify specific areas within environmental science like air quality, water quality, wildlife conservation, or policy analysis where you can best utilize those top skills. For geoscience majors, you can reflect on your academic strengths and also your field experience, or even your technical proficiencies in data analysis and mapping software, your communication skills, and specific interests within the field like environmental geology, hydrology, or petroleum geology. Then from there, you can actively seek opportunities to gain practical experience, maybe through internships or research projects, and you can personally network to further identify those valuable skill sets. And if you're curious about what are the top skills that are often needed for careers in certain environmental science or geoscience roles, there's some really great places to start. One great site that I encourage you to take a look at is ONET. So ONET identifies and lists some of the top in-demand skills that are required for roles within various environmental science and geoscience job occupations. The top skills are often needed for careers in environmental science and geoscience roles include data analysis, geographic information systems, and proficiency in strong scientific knowledge, relevant fields like biology, chemistry, geology, strong field research skills, also critical thinking, problem solving, and communication skills, as well as even project management and the ability to collaborate with other stakeholders. So, depending on the specific role, expertise might call for things like expertise in maybe modeling, environmental impact assessment tests, policy analysis, and other areas of skill. So, if you're wondering what skills or competencies are most important, again, you can also check out ONET as well. There's some really great resources as well. You can check out, for example, a great resource provided by the American Geosciences Institute known as the Workforce Readiness Tools Assessment. Next, think about what skills do you currently have, or do you have skills that you think that maybe need a little bit more improvement based on what your career interests are. Again, you can look to utilize skills assessment tests like A-way-to that was previously mentioned, or you can use Skills Matcher, which is provided by Career One Stop. If you can identify your technical and soft skills and you can describe them to an employer, you'll be able to write a clearer and stronger resume and have stronger interviewing skills. You'll also be able to answer some of those important questions during that interview, like, what can you do for my organization? Or what problems can you help solve? We also suggest working with your academic advisor to explore SNHU courses or even electives that could help educate you in these skill areas. You can also consider browsing or completing LinkedIn Learning courses, which are actually free for current online students. Lastly, you could even consider external options like taking online boot camps or completing online certifications to level up your skills. And now I will turn it over to Tyra for a quick check-in.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alyssa. So as you can see, we've reflected now on what brought you to the field and where you're at and what resources exist at SNHU that you've been able to engage with. And now as we get into kind of step 2 out of 5 in this career navigation, what skills do you currently have that you feel apply to an environmental science or geoscience career? Alyssa was excellent at listing all of the things that potentially could go into one of those careers. Things like problem solving and data analysis, being able to communicate really effectively. You all shared a little bit of background of where you are and what you've done. I saw some folks who had the data analysis concentration. That's going to be excellent to get some academic experience. We've had folks work in a hospital. I'm sure that relies very heavily on being able to communicate with people, being able to solve problems. Being able to be on your feet for a long time is an important skill as well in environmental science and geoscience. So thinking about your previous work experience, the jobs that you've had, life experiences, hobbies, collecting rocks, attention to detail, excellent, problem solving, Microsoft Word and Excel, absolutely used in almost every job now. Permitting and licensing background, that's super helpful. Yeah, if you're looking to work for any sort of government organization and anything that would be maybe for the state, collect fossils, excellent. Yeah, being able to visually identify things in a rock collection or fossils, absolutely. Being able to spend time outdoors. Coding, excellent experience. A pharmacy technician, absolutely. Yeah, you're doing a lot of math, working with the public, solving problems, and I'm sure doing lots of calculations. Leadership skills, hobby storm chasing, excellent. Attention to detail, absolutely. All of those things lend themselves so well to an environmental science or geoscience career, as Alyssa had shared examples. And in part 2 of our webinar series, we're going to be getting into a little bit more detail here about how those experiences and those skills that you have can be really well translated into an application, whether you're writing a resume or a cover letter, or you're giving an elevator pitch to someone that you're meeting and connecting with. All of those things we're going to help to translate those items. So as we go through step 3 now with Alyssa, keep all those things in mind. And we're going to kind of share some examples and some resources of exactly how to take that next step.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyra. And yeah, thank you everyone for sharing. Saw a lot of the skills that I just mentioned that were here on the screen as well, that all of you already feel really strongly about. So that's a really great step in the right direction. Absolutely. So moving on to step 3. So once you become familiar with your interests and your skill sets, you can begin exploring occupations that, again, closely align. So first thing you can start doing is researching career exploration sites that can help you get started. So going back to ONET itself has an exhaustive database of occupational information, features and also features an interactive application for exploring and searching environmental science and geoscience related careers. There are also various career exploration tools for job seekers that are looking to find or even change careers. And so one of the largest hiring sectors in environmental science, actually in geoscience fields, is the federal and state government agencies like the U.S. Geological Survey or the EPA. And so all government jobs and internships can be found on USA Jobs, which also hosts a ton of career exploration articles, links, and career path details for those interested in environmental science or geoscience careers. Through USA Jobs, you can also create your own profile. You can upload your resume before applying to those opportunities, and you can find tons of resources on how to do just that on Career 360 as well. You can also go a little bit more niche and start searching for specific sites like environmentalscience.org, or go directly to the americangeoscience.org website. So on these sites, you can find and discover specific career options. You can research specific career paths and research internships and scholarships, even fellowships, and so much more. Additionally, there are many companies who might be looking to have candidates who have certifications to validate their knowledge of best practices in the field. So environmental certifications are credentials an individual can earn to demonstrate their knowledge and expertise in the environmental industry. And this shows employers that someone can manage tasks related to preserving and protecting the environment. But before you go spending your money or taking time to do a certification, it's really, really important that you pause to do your research to find one that will give you the competitive advantage that aligns, again, closely with your specific unique career goals. So, for example, the National Registry of Environmental Professionals, or the NREP, has a really extensive list of available certifications for both entry level and advanced environmental professionals. And within it, it also has a ton of FAQs for you to view related to each type of certification. So, it's definitely worth taking the time to explore. And continuing within step 3, let's think about each degree individually. So environmental science is a study, of course, of learning how the natural world works, how we interact with it, and how we preserve it. This combination of scientific knowledge and hands-on training from this degree allows you to customize your career and work to inspire change on a local or global scale in the way that best suits your interest and your abilities. In fact, one of the biggest benefits of a degree in environmental science is it's multidisciplinary by highlight nature. So by incorporating the study of science with coursework and data analysis, research strategies, and field methods and technologies, you can truly take your career in any direction you wish. So just a few of the options that are available to people with a degree in environmental science include jobs monitoring wildlife, ecosystems, conducting economic analysis of natural resources, water management, or even becoming a park ranger or game warden. And now the geoscience major is highly interactive, interdisciplinary, and very rewarding. So geoscience integrates the diverse skills of all STEM fields and applies them directly to real-world problems. So geoscience addresses critical issues such as energy, meteorology, water and mineral resources, stewardship of the environment, oceanography, reducing natural hazards for society, planetary science, and so much more. Not only does this major allow students to work on many of society's most important challenges, but it also unlocks lucrative and personally rewarding careers in industry, academia, research, and even government. So, where can you really dive into these specific areas of interest? Well, on Career 360, of course, under what we call our Vault Guides section. The Vault Guides provide essential information about key careers and industries with an emphasis on preparing for an environmental science or geoscience career and getting your foot in the door. Each volume is loaded with up-to-date information on industry trends, employment and earning statistics, and what employers look for in job candidates. So, for students making career choices or aspiring professionals planning their career path, these guides offer a wealth of helpful information and resources. We also have another really helpful resource called What Can I Do with This Major? That features over 100 plus major profiles with information on common jobs and career paths, types of employers that hire in the field, and strategies to maximize opportunity. So on the next slide here, we're also going to highlight one more additional resource that's actually provided by the American Geoscience Institute called Career Compass. So Career Compass provides options, tips, and suggestions, and even strategies for how students can obtain critical skills, experiences, and competencies in order to launch their geoscience career. So the growing series of Career Compass is intended to help geoscience students identify key developmental pathways and milestones towards a range of careers based on geoscience disciplines or occupations. So students are encouraged to check this out as you put together your own unique career roadmap. And as Tyra alluded to, we will cover so much more of this exploration process in series 2. So for now, let's go ahead and move on to the next step. So it's the golden rule for every industry. Step 4 is establishing a good network and making connections. It's absolutely essential if you want to get your foot in the door. And while many of us dread the idea of networking, it doesn't have to be as uncomfortable as it might sound. In fact, there are many different types of networking, ranging from a friendly message on LinkedIn to a full-on conference circuit. So as an aspiring green professional, it's important to start connecting with like-minded people as early as possible. Not only does a good network open up potential doors in terms of career prospects, it's also an excellent source of mentorship and support as you find your feet in a brand new industry. So where do you start? Here are some excellent ways to start networking. Head to LinkedIn. Join some environmental science or geoscience groups or communities, or simply connect with professionals in and around your local area. Also considering following organizations and groups that interest you on LinkedIn to get timely career updates or alerts. So for example, you can choose to follow the National Park Services on LinkedIn to connect with those who work there and maybe those who are in the know about any job or internship openings or even upcoming events. Also think about connecting with your SNHU community. So many of your courses will offer you ways to get in touch with a wider student community through Slack or Discord channels, but we also have a dedicated group on LinkedIn that you can join at any time. And we also have a dedicated SNHU group called SNU Connect for students and alum. So again, it's a great opportunity for you to receive peer-to-peer support and potentially make more SNU connections. Lastly, attending SNHU career networking events to meet with industry professionals in the field and fellow SNHU students and alumni is a great way to build your connections. And if you're unsure where to start or to make these connections, once again, we have got you covered. Head to Career 360 and check out our networking resources. You can also connect with our career services team anytime for more one-on-one help as you're looking to expand and make those connections. And now I'll turn it to Tyra for another check-in.
Excellent. How's everyone doing? We are almost at the end of our presentation. I saw one question come in, so we're going to hold that until Q&A. So if you have a LinkedIn profile, excellent, wonderful. That is great. It's a great way to see opportunities, as Alyssa has mentioned. If you do, and you're open to sharing your LinkedIn profile, feel free to pop that in the chat and get connected with fellow students, alumni. Potentially we have some staff and instructors here in the audience. I'm going to put mine in there. I tend to repost a lot of things from the national parks and the EPA and a number of other organizations about different webinars, internship opportunities, all that good stuff. So nothing that I'm necessarily offering myself, but promoting other opportunities. So you have a chance. Looks like Christian is making a profile right now. Wonderful. If you use your SNHU profile, you can get right into the free LinkedIn learning, which is excellent. So even if that's one small thing that you do this evening, once we wrap everything up, go ahead and make a LinkedIn profile. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but go ahead and get connected with us all. So step 5, we're going to finish by wrapping up by creating your application materials. So we're going to dive in a little bit more deeply, as I've alluded to within the second session for our webinar. But for this evening, we'll keep it really, lean and quick so we have some time for questions. First, you want to kind of tailor your resume to land a job or an internship. You'll need to submit a compelling resume. If you're not sure how to get started or how to update your current resume, SNHU's career advising team is there to help you. They are there to answer any questions, review what you have, help you get started. They've got templates to be able to recommend so that you're not starting from a blank page, which can be really helpful. Also, students are encouraged to use resume templates like Skills First. All of these things are available through Career 360. And all of them are free, which is great. So nice part about these tools is you can even specifically search for things like science-related resume templates. And so that helps for you to tailor and customize your professional story for the opportunities that you're most interested in. We've got a lot of resources for applying through federal jobs and all of those sorts of things. So stay tuned for the next few webinars that we have. Like I said, we're offering those every 2 weeks. Through early February. And all of these things are available through Career 360. So I think Alyssa's going to pop a few things in the chat there related to resumes and application materials. But that'll be kind of our jumping off point for the next session for the webinar. So just to recap, we covered a lot today. There's been some big highlights here, kind of these 5 steps that Alyssa has so graciously walked us through about knowing the trends, what's going on in environmental science and geoscience and STEM more broadly and the workforce more broadly. You might be at the point where you're identifying your skills and interests. You all did a lot of that today. I saw a number of skills and interests of what brought you here and what experience you bring to the table. We're going to help you translate all of that into your materials and be able to explore the right career paths for yourself. So you might be just kind of exploring career paths. What does that look like? To be able to get engaged with a career advisor to help navigate some of those things. Get connected with each other. I see a number of LinkedIn URLs here in the chat. Feel free to keep sharing those and getting connected. You've already done a lot of that this evening, and then, wrapping up with preparing your, whether it's internship or job or volunteer experience materials to apply for those opportunities, really showcase who you are, what you care about, what you bring to the table. So like I said, we'll kind of wrap up and we'll move into the second webinar in 2 weeks, where we're talking a lot more about preparing those materials. So final check-in before our Q&A. After attending today, what's one area or one resource that you're most excited to check out right now? Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's a way to and being able to do a self-assessment, maybe it's Career 360 that you haven't seen before. Feel free to pop that in the chat of the things that you are looking for. As Alyssa, like really well sold. Career 360, it's a great spot to start, right? You can go to wherever you need to be. Everything that she's mentioned today is available through that one site. So it's really loaded and it's really broken down in a way that kind of follows those 5 steps. So yeah, I'm so excited to see completing a self-assessment, Career 360, looking for resume help. Excellent, wonderful. Okay. And without further ado, thank you so much for joining us for our first webinar in this 3-part series. As I mentioned, we're going to have Q&A for a few minutes, so feel free to type your questions in the chat box. But that, for the most part, is a wrap. We hope that you'll join us for part 2. I hope I've sold that enough that we're really going to do some hands-on workshopping of everything for both environmental science and geoscience career searches and exploration tools. We're going to break into the field, focus on resume tips, interviewing preparation, all of those sorts of things. So you can register now for parts 2 and 3. And in the meantime, if you need any career assistance or have any questions about Handshake, LinkedIn Learning, Career 360, the COCE career at snu.edu, email is at the top, or you can just give them a phone call. They are so helpful and so kind with any questions that you might have, or depending on where you're at in that journey. So I'm going to pass it back to Alyssa for any housekeeping items, and then we can kind of go to questions.
Absolutely. Well, you've wrapped it up beautifully. So once again, thank you all so much for taking the time to be with Tyra and myself this evening. I hope it was informative. I have to say, I'm over the moon to see everyone so thrilled about Career 360 because I am just as thrilled about it myself. It's such an amazing tool, an amazing resource for our students and our alums, as well as our team. So excited to see that you all are excited about engaging with it as well. But as Tyra alluded to, please join us for part 2. So I'm going to be adding the registration for part 2 right here in the chat. You can go ahead and register right now. It'll be taking place on January 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Part 2 is really, to be perfectly honest, a unique session because we do a truly deep dive into environmental science and geoscience career searching. We talk about how to break into the field. So this is great for those you mentioned are some career switchers or career changers. We really kind of get into that. And share some tips and advice and tricks. We also talk about resumes, interviewing prep, and so much more. So please feel free to join us for that series. Make sure that you attend. You can register for it, as I said, right now. I did pop that link into the chat. And of course, if you need career assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out. But yes, this is the open Q&A portion. We have a few moments here because I want to be mindful of everyone's time. But I did see a few questions come in. So I'm just going to kind of scroll back up and try to answer them as we go. And Tyra, let me know if I've missed any, or feel free to say them aloud if there's a few.
Yeah, we had an early one about career switching resources through Career 360 and whether or not there were specific resources for students that were career switchers.
Yes, we absolutely have resources on Career 360 for those looking to transition or switch careers. If you actually navigate to that dedicated environmental science career community page that I've mentioned, I'll put that in the chat once more. But under where you kind of can do the drop down menus for entry level, mid level, or senior level, if you click on that mid-level one, there's some really great resources about career switching or transitioning. Talks a little bit about transferable skills, things of that nature. There's also some really great information under the menu tab for people we connect for online students and alums. It literally talks about where you are in your journey. There's some additional menu tabs about career starters, career changers, and career advancers. Those are kind of the 3 buckets. So feel free to browse those resources as well. And once again, I cannot emphasize enough our career advising team. So if you are in a unique spot, a unique situation, you have a unique career story, career journey, and you really feel like you'd benefit from more of that one-on-one dedicated personal help, please reach out to our team. You will actually get a real life person who will contact you back, who will give you a call or send you an email and work with you to establish a unique career plan that's just for you. So again, browse Career 360 all the way. But once again, if you feel like you really need some more direct assistance, please reach out to our team. That is what they are here for. So great question. I did see one come in when it's when you're job hunting. I think Katie posted this. When job hunting, is it okay to apply to multiple jobs at a time, or should I space them out a little bit? When it comes to job opportunities, we definitely encourage students at this point, keep applying. But while you're applying for those multiple jobs, keep in mind the resume you're applying with. You want to make sure that you are taking the time to customize and tailor your resume and your cover letter or application materials for that particular job. You don't want to just have a blanket resume for all of the jobs because that's going to show to employers, are you really a fit for this position? Is this application material really telling me that you're going to be the most ideal candidate for this opportunity? So absolutely, you can continue to apply to as many jobs, but make sure you're being mindful of what you're sending to that job. So make sure that you are taking the time to customize that resume or that application so that you are demonstrating to the employer you have the experience and the skill sets that they need. So I hope that that's helpful. Any other questions that come through? I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat here, trying to be mindful of time as well.
I think there was only one other question so far from Whitney. How can I get involved in plastic pollution mitigation? I can't figure out the job title. There have been some good resources, and it's great to see students helping other students in the chat there. So they've been able to share a few different resources. I would say, it's going to be kind of broad strokes in terms of the terminology for different job titles. I see that a lot across science where one thing is called one thing and not necessarily use the same terminology there. So it may be helpful to get connected with a career advisor to make sure that you have a good idea of exactly what you want to be looking for in the type of job and what that means. And then they'll be able to help with keyword searches that will be most relevant to you. Waste management may be one. And it may be kind of like eco-disaster recovery specialist in the other similar vein. So excellent question.
Yeah, and I would definitely not so much focus on the title itself, but more on the responsibility. So if you have a strong interest in, again, plastics, or if that aligns more with conservation or things like that, then it's more focusing on that versus the title. So if there's something about that job title that does sound interesting, let's flip it on its head a little bit and think more about what would somebody in that position likely do, and then focus more on that. So finding more of the job responsibilities, the duties, and then the title will come. So that's just a tip there of advice. Just think about what it is that you want to focus on within plastics pollution as that responsibility, like what is you really want to do, and then that job title will come through that research. Great question, though. I did see another one come in before we close because I know we're a little bit over time. So thank you all so much for sticking around. But Anna mentioned, wants to get more involved in the geoscience field. Is there anything SNHU offers that allow for this, like a club, extracurricular activities? Maybe Tyra, this could stem more towards experiential learning. So I'll kick it over to you.
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to speak to maybe two questions at the same time because there was also something around lack of elective space if you're transferring a lot of courses in, which is excellent, right? Like we want you to, transfer it as much as possible. So there is a lot of flexibility within the program themselves, both environmental science and geoscience. So when you get into some of your research courses, those are pretty open-ended, so you can explore the part of environmental science or geoscience that's most meaningful to you. So selecting a topic that you're going to be focusing on potentially for one course or more courses throughout the program is going to be really valuable. So if something like plastic pollution is really valuable to you, making sure to select that as your topic so that you're creating projects and you're working on assignments that are specific to that. Experiential learning is a great opportunity to earn academic credit. We don't currently have any existing academic driven clubs or organizations that are associated with the university, but there is a sustainable SNHU channel within is it SNHU Connect, Alyssa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, I'm thinking that. Sorry, we went through a lot of resources today within SNHU Connect, so you can get paired up and built into that community of like-minded folks who are focused on environmental science and geoscience. So if I can find that link, I will share it, and if not, we will send it in your kind of link/recording goodie bag email that Alyssa will send later in the week. Excellent question. And if you're here for the next one, bring that question up again, and we'll make sure to share that information. Thanks for the great questions.
Yeah, and Tyra alluded to it perfectly before we kind of close out for the evening. So all of those in the audience here this evening, be on the lookout for an email from us within about 1 to 2 days following this event. We're going to kind of encapsulate all the things that we talked about. We'll include the link to this recording so you can watch it back anytime. But as a reminder, literally everything is posted on Career 360 that we talked about this evening. This video will also be posted on Career 360 and the Environmental Science, Geoscience Career Community page. So again, makes it very easy, but we will be following up via email with some really helpful links and information as well. So stay tuned for that. So just make sure that the email address that you registered for this event, likely was your SNHU email address. So again, keep an eye out that you should see an email from us in the next 1 to 2 days with, again, all of the links that we've talked about. And I also once again, put in the registration for part 2. We hope to see all of you come back for part 2 on the 28th at 6 p.m. We're excited to continue this conversation, continue this series along. So once again, before we close this evening, thank you all so much for taking the time to be here to share with us. We were just so excited to get this series going, and so much. Thank you all so much for your engagement and follow through, especially in the chat. It's great to see. Tyra and I love doing this kind of work. So thank you all so much. With that, we will go ahead and conclude. You can simply leave the meeting, and we look forward to seeing all of you in a few weeks here for part 2. Thank you all so much. Have a great evening.